Was it late? I hope a few people saw it. Yeah, just proud of the guys. You know, in a lot of ways, it was a frustrating game for us. Just not playing maybe some things that we're accustomed to. You know, they hit some big passes. We gave up more big chunk passes than we have all season. You know, special teams, they had us on that and made some really good plays. And but the nice thing is these kids just battled hard and battled back. And I mean, that's how football goes. And, you know, I can't tell you how often we practice those 2-minute drills. We practice them. I mean, every week we talk about not practicing anymore because you're trying to cut down practice a little bit, and it's in a high intensity drill. But we just always feel like that's something that we can't. So it's like, how many times have we been through this? And they came through. Proud of Jake. Thought he did some really good things and made some clutch plays. The second to the last drive was all those guys executed well. I think there was a lot of pressure on them to get that thing done, and they made plays when they had to. And obviously, you know, Tristan comes through, which was great.
Did you have any words for Tristan before that final kick, Chris?
Not at all. I mean, he was just shooting, and I really felt him being on. I really felt at that stage that we really had nothing. We had nothing to lose, and you know, I think he's cleaner from the left hash, and I really thought he was going to make it because we go to overtime, and I kind of felt he'd cut it loose and go.
It wasn't long ago we were talking about Tristan and kind of some of the things he was going through. Now he gets the game-winning field goal. What's it like for you to see him do that after kind of what he's gone through this year?
I think it's great. I think the team was really, really happy for him. I mean, they really were in that locker room, and I mean, that's because I've been saying it for a while. I mean, you know, he's had you know, it's been tough at times, but he's got a powerful leg, and he can be very accurate. And you know, I don't even know how far that field goal was, but he had a lot more to him, and that's usually how he kicks it.
Chris, what was the conversations, I guess, to start that drive, and then how did those conversations change after they called the timeout?
Yeah, so we wanted to run the ball and see if we could pop one with Miles through there and maybe just get, you know, a 10-yard run or something. And if we could, then we were going to go. And or even if he probably would have got out of bounds, you know, we probably would have tried something. You know, I get what Kyle was trying to do. You know, you got to play aggressive in these situations. And he was thinking we, you know, may not get a first down, and we got a punt, and he's going to come after it. And so, I mean, those things, you got to play the game. But yeah, so heck, who knows if we hit the next pass or not? But we did, and we get two really good ones after that, and it was good execution.
And then the one after that, the penance, what did you see on towards the goal line?
I saw what everybody else saw. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point, I guess.
Chris, in terms of, I'm sorry. Lost my train.
No worries. I do that about a lot.
On Jake's fourth down, we got 4th and 8. Jake breaks the pocket and gets 6. Gets flipped up in the air and he comes down hard. How aware of you with how shaken up you were?
Well, I talked to him and I thought he was fine with the questions he was asking me. You know, what I had seen if he had somebody pop open. And I think he got it. I looked down. I think he got a good one in the shin, one of those nice shin, probably face mask. I'm not sure how and when he got it. Could have got it multiple times, but you know, he's a courageous guy, and he's going to try to do everything he can do to, you know, get that first down.
Chris, how did JoJo's ejection? How did that really affect how you altered the way you had to play defense?
Well, I don't know if it did. We'll have to look at that tape and talk to those defensive guys. But you know, he's a force back there, and he comes down like a ton of bricks. He really does. But another positive that we were able to move some guys around, and they stepped up and you know, played well enough for us to, you know, credit to Utah. I mean, they did a nice job. I mean, they ran that quarterback and that RPO game. You know, with him pulling it out and throwing it. I mean, it's hard to defend. I'm sure there's some stuff that we're going to put on tape and say we can do a lot better than that. But I think they executed well, you know, as well.
We have Utah being that aggressive on special teams, onside kick, fake punt, the whole 9. I mean, I guess, like, how bizarre, rare is that? Because, I mean, it seems like that's something that just happens every day. How do you plan for that? Or-
I think that they're an aggressive special teams. Like I paid attention, you know, we paid attention to these guys for a long time, and I've seen them onside kick, you know, first or the second half over the years. I've seen them do it all, and credit to those guys. I mean, not only did they call it, they executed it, and you know, I think it'll be a really big wake-up call. I mean, you sit here and talk about this stuff till you're blue in the face, and it never happens. You know, surprise onside, we can't leave too early. You know, all those different things. You got to make sure we had two guys right there, making sure that the ball's going to be kicked. We're forcing the kick, and he runs right between us. So hopefully we learn some good hard lessons.
You guys had your tailbacks combined for 10 catches. What do you see out of that unit in the passing game?
They're good receivers, and I like Jake. You know, he'll find those guys if they're not open. You know, that one he got to Miles. That's just some healthy, clean living, because that could have gone either way. I mean, that could clear that guy's fingers by about an inch. And you know, Miles, I've said all along, he's such a good pass receiver. I mean, he has got tremendous hands.
Between that and I think there was one on the next drive of the drive after that they got called for collision. Is that something you look for out of a certain look when you see like single eye safety or something?
Which play was that?
There was a touchdown to Miles, and then I think there was the drive in the fourth, early in the fourth.
Oh yeah. They were holding us. Yeah. Well, they were doing a nice job of mixing their coverage. I mean, they really were. They disguised coverage, and they're getting into zone and some cover two, and looking like it's man and playing man. And you know, Andre did a good job of. You know, I think he probably had the guy on his heels a little bit, and he had to grab him to get off to not get beat bad. And I didn't really see it till I saw the flag come out early and thought it was on them.
I remember your first game back in a while. What did you see out of that? I know touchdown, but
Yeah. That's hard for me to really say. I got to watch that tape on that. It's good to have him back out there. I mean, he hasn't practiced a whole bunch. You know, he was back last week doing some things. So his first week of really getting in there, but it's not like being, you know, in that game. So it's good to get him out there, and hopefully it's, you know, everything held up good.
Chris, there was a flag thrown that picked up on you for, I couldn't quite figure out.
So, yeah, for being on the field, but they always tell you when you need a timeout, talking about the red zone, run out there and get our attention. Well, that was the same thing. They were all out there, and I saw the refs winding the clock, saying the clock is going, and so I'm running out there trying to get their attention to call timeout. And that's why they took it off, because that's why I saw him like winding the clock, and we were trying to call timeout, but nobody was there to, yeah.
Chris, the play before the field goal, it looked like you guys were actually trying to score on that. I mean, what was the kind of the mentality?
We have a play that if we got a good matchup, we'll take it. You know, it's primarily designed to go to the short side of the field and maybe just get us a few more yards. You know, just nothing super aggressive. But Jake liked the matchup. I think we had 8 seconds, possibly 8 seconds on the clock. And again, we have worked it so many times. He knows that he can take a shot with that. Anything when we start getting down that 6 or 7, he would not go. He's not supposed to go to that wide side, and I know he would know he would go to short side.
What do you think that last drive does for something like Andre? I know earlier in the week you were asking about Fuller being that number 2 guy, but with Andre, he just kind of came up, especially that big catch, you know, in the last drive. What do you think this does for someone like him going forward?
I think it does a lot for the whole team. You know, I mean, these kids work hard. They really do. They practice hard. They work hard. They study hard. But I hope this just gives them a little swag back. You know, that they don't have to play so tight, and you don't have to play perfect and still come back and win. And not only for Andre, but just for everybody, Tristan and the defense. You can just keep playing. Hopefully we got that out of this game.
Jake and Miles each broke the records for passing and rushing touchdowns in this game. What does it speak to their legacy to do that in a nitty-gritty game like this?
Yeah, it's nice that they come through with their best when their best is needed, right? That's a John Wooden thing or something. But yeah, I mean, those guys are both really good players who played a lot of football, and I think it's, you know, apropos that those guys come through at that time.
Chris, this has been a pretty tumultuous second half of the season for you guys. Injuries, suspension, one thing after another feels like. A game like this, can you kind of immediately put it in context of what this kind of could mean for you guys just down the stretch here?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it 3 weeks ago, just November football's hard. When we looked at our schedule, I mean, we knew that this was gonna be like a really hard stretch. I mean, you know, you feel, I've studied all of Utah's stuff, and you feel bad for those guys, because those guys have a good team. You know, I know the record's not what they want it to be, but they have players, they got injuries as well, you know, but those guys, that's a dangerous team, and I said it earlier in the week, and I don't ever try to say anything that I don't really mean. And so you got, you know, Stanford and these guys and Wazoo, and you know, that's hard football, like when you've lost so many guys and practiced so long. But that's where, you know, I think that's where teams test their mettle. And I'm just glad that these guys, like I said, just to get a little bounce in their step.
Coach, I know that turnovers have always been huge for you, but they've been few and far between lately. You got an interception today. Almost got that.
Yeah.
What's going on with turnovers?
Yeah, and we just aren't creating enough of them. That's the bottom line. I mean, we're not in that thing that someone's going to hand us a turnover. That does happen on occasion, but that's, you know, that's whatever. Our strategy's not luck. You know, we gotta somehow create more turnovers. You know, we gotta get to that quarterback, and I thought we did. I thought we were better than we had been. The ball did come out. You know, we got the one pick, and the ball, we could have easily got that again. You'd like to see it come out again, but, you know, I mean, I think everybody does, but we really want to get, you know, our goal is 3, to get 3 a game, and we haven't done that for a while, but I think that's affected us.
Do you ever recall coaching a team to 10 points in 1 minute?
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, that was nice, and like I said, I kind of go back to just all the time we've spent on this 2-minute drill, and it's been good for both sides, because the defense, you know, the defense makes it hard on our offense for those things, but I think we've called those same type of plays so many times that those kids were very grooved into those calls.
Good?
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks.